Hello everyone, my name is Beamon Character, so you can call me Chamber May, and today we have Melky, and I fucked up my first recording because my audio wasn't there, so we had to reread everything. Welcome to the life of a VTuber with terrible audio, and fucking OBS can't choose which microphone to connect to because I have so many. We got one in the fucking camera, we got one that doesn't work in the headset anymore, we got the one I usually use, and then a voice mod, even though I only use it for a fucking soundboard. God, the way I said it, I was just like, oh, we got voice mod? We got voice mod here? But yeah,
I made taquitos.
Oh my god. But yeah, Jen has a snack, so she's going to be listening in with all of you guys. She's going to be listening in, and this is a Reddit post. I was really excited to read this, but then I realized that all my footage went away. We are at part 2, but to pretty much put it in the best way I can, the original poster is from a person named many_books_91, with the reposter being Ilis. The original post was posted in the subreddit entitled People. The new one that is posted now is Best of Reddit Updates. The original OP is Many Books, but the new poster is Ilis. There is 2 parts with many posts. I think in total there's 10 posts in total, starting from March 30th. So we are going to redo this together, and don't worry, I'll make sure to you guys will get my genuine reaction again because of how fucking absurd this is. It's fucking crazy. So just in case, the people that are in here that are very important are the creator, who is 31. She's a 31-year-old woman. Her partner, who goes by Significant Other, or SO in the post, Miss Karen, and her nephew, who you will see later down the line. And oh my god. Anyway, so here it is. It says, OLP has made several posts over the span of 8 months about the entire neighbor who moved into the solitary apartment and mistakenly believes she owns the entire building. Crazy hijinks ensue when the entitled Karen then tries to impose her own cockmane rules over every owner of the units. And just in case, I did find out that there are pets involved. Just in case, the pets are fine. They are safe, but the hypocrisy of this lady is crazy, and you'll see why. Oh my god. Anyway, let's do this. You ready?
Nicky.
Okay, I had to reread all of this, and I didn't get myself a drink, but who fucking cares? So the first post is on March 30th of 2022. And it's called Our New Neighbor Thinks She Owns the Building. So let me begin with this. Oh my god. Oh yeah, just in case, because this is a Reddit thing, I originally was going to make pictures for these, but as you can see, I was too excited to read it. So I made no picture, no little weird furry drawing for this. But anyway, just sit back, relax, do whatever you want, play a video game. Video game? I said video game. Oh my god. Play a video game? Just have it on while you're driving, play it via Bluetooth and listen. But anyway, here we go. The first post is called Our New Neighbor Thinks She Owns the Building. So also for context, this person is an Australian. They are from Australia, and they live in a 6-unit building. And by the looks of it, they live on the first floor of the building, the lowest floor. But anyway, so let's begin with this with on mobile, so sorry for the formatting. Once again, that is not your fault. I am on a PC. The formatting could also be stupid on here. Anyway, 31 female, so this is a 31-year-old woman when in 2022. I don't know how old she'd be by now because I'm not doing the math. Live in a block of 6 units, apartments for non-Australians. Anyway, A month ago, the unit above mine went up for sale and sold fairly quickly, and the new owner moved in less than a week ago. This morning, I got up and went to take the rubbish, aka the trash, and found a note stuck to my door. I honestly thought it was I'm new to the building kind of note, you know? Oh, I've been more wrong. So just in case this person, so that way none of it gets sued, she just calls her by blah blah. But for the rest of this, we will just call her by Karen. Because let's face it, that's who she is. She's a Karen. You ready, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this lady an annoying voice, honestly. Dear tenant, I recently bought your building and wish to introduce myself. My name is Karen. Not going to put her actual name, and I think you will find me a fair. I'm not gonna put her actual name, and I think you'll find me a fair landlord. However, I have some rules. Just in case for context, I did find out that they explain this later on. They own units, like they own these apartments, so you can either rent them or you can buy them. And then when you move out, you sell them off to someone who wants to rent it or buy them or pay or fully buy it. There's no landlord. There are like people who are kind of like the HOA of the building, but that's it. No one owns the entire building. You own your unit. You pay, like you rent or pay and own your unit. You take care of it. No one else can tell you what to do. But here's the first rule. Everyone should be at their units by 9 p.m. If you're going to be out past this, I suggest you find accommodation elsewhere. Pretty much with this, she's telling you like, hey, if you're out by 9 a.m., good luck getting back in. Like, she'd rather you be on the streets. She doesn't care if you're on the streets, like, cold and hungry. She's just like, if you're not home by 9 p.m., that's your fault. Anyway, no pets allowed. If you have any, they must be relocated before I do an inspection, or I will call the ranger to remove them. This is my only warning. Keep in mind, she cannot do this, and there's a reason why I say she's hypocritical over this rule. But anyway, I will conduct an inspection once a month, and you will be present to answer any questions or face eviction. And the last one, failure to pay rent on time will result in eviction. By the way, I don't know if all places do this. I know some places will be a bit more like lenient. They'll be like, okay, you don't have the rent now, I'll give you a week or an extra month to pay it. And if you don't have by then I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to evict you. And keep in mind, I don't know if they can do inspections like this, like monthly inspections. I don't know. I don't live in an apartment. And I never have. But anyway, if we all allow these rules, I'm sure we will get along. Sincerely, Karen. Keep in mind, once again, she's not the landlord. She doesn't own this shit. But anyway, fun fact about my building: we all own our own units. Nobody actually owns the whole building. I won't lie, I got to number 2 and had a slight panic attack because I have cats and there's no way I was giving them away before I remembered we bought our unit just before Christmas. We rented it out from a friend prior, and when she told me she was thinking about selling it, we bought it. Didn't even have to move. So in some ways, I feel it still feels like we're renting, but we actually own our unit. Just in case, because later on she does link a picture of the cats. I will show a picture of the cats up on screen now. So these are the cats. By the looks of it, she has 3 different cats. But anyway, now I'm not good at confronting someone. I tend to shake a lot, but at the moment I was quite angry, so I went upstairs and knocked on her door. You know that gut feeling you have? I was spot on. The door opened, and there stood a Karen, her hair blonder than my own, her nails long and bright colored. God, they must be neon. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like her nails are neon. Like, neon ass nails. I'm gonna make the strength up on my microphone and pull you in a little bit closer. Anyway, so yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. So her nails were bright colored. She didn't look happy to see me there. I introduced myself and explained that I lived downstairs and that I wanted to talk to her about her note. She started talking over top of me. I think she meant to talk over her. She started to talk over her, explaining that her letter was basic rules and that even a child could understand it. And if I didn't like her rules, I could hand in a letter to vacate. keep in mind she can't do that because she isn't in the building. She'd have to like hand it to somebody else to tell them that she's like moving out, but she can't do it to this lady. Wow. I would ask if people are really really this up themselves, but I work in retail and I can answer my own question. Yes, because like people suck. People fucking suck. Like, ugh. Anyway, I told her that actually I own my unit. She hadn't bought it or the rest of the building, but only her own unit, and that she couldn't enforce anything in her note. I feel like she could only enforce that if you were roommates, but you're not. You both live in your own apartment. Anyway, she didn't like that at all. She started yelling at me, saying that yes, she had indeed bought the whole building, and that failure to comply with the rules would mean I would be evicted. Keep in mind, she can't do that. I was just starting to think maybe I was wrong with another neighbor opened his door. He came and asked what the issues was about and could stop screaming as he worked nights and was trying to sleep. I told him I was trying to explain that she hadn't bought the building, and she started yelling again. My neighbor told her to stop, and he said the best thing I heard all that day. Heard that day. Are you stupid? Her jaw dropped as he explained explained to her how wrong she was, and that he was part of the STAR community, kind of like the HOA that oversees the building, and that she had no right to make rules for everyone. She gave us a look before slamming the door. I thanked him and he said that in his entire time he lived there, he hadn't seen someone so entitled. So yeah, this guy has lived there for a long time, and he's never seen someone who was like had so much of their like so much of a stick up their ass. So next post of April 2nd. My new neighbor thinks she can park anywhere. So I guess as an update to my last post, I had a lot of people ask me at the post she did anything else. This is so currently happening, and my significant other is witnessing it, texting me as I work. So if you missed my last post, I had a new neighbor move into my building, and she left notes on everyone's doors saying she had bought the building and gave us insane rules to follow. She does not own the building, but only a unit or an apartment. Jury is still out there if she's insane or stupid. I think she's a mix of both. Both are on the latter at this point. Anyway, she has been quiet for the last few days, and I thought maybe that's it. Apparently, I was wrong. So each unit in our building is allowed. It says located. I think she meant allowed one parking space, just one. I park in mine, and my son parks in his car on the street and the other side of the building. Our parking lot has one visitor space. It's very small parking lot, 6 blocks for residents and one visitor, so only 7 spots. The visitor spot is nearly always empty, and the neighbors have said my significant other could park his car there if he wanted, as we are the only unit with 2 cars, but he doesn't mind parking where he is. Get ready, everybody. This morning, my significant other woke up to yelling. Our kitchen window overlooks the parking lot, and he snuck a peek out of the window and saw an entire neighbor standing next to our nice neighbor's car, and they were arguing loudly. She kept yelling that she had a second car and needed to park in his spot, and he had to move his car or else she would have it towed. He kept repeating that it was his parking spot, and she could either park it in a visitor spot or on the street, and if she towed his car, it would be reported stolen. Significant other said she kept yelling she can park where she wants and he needs to move it else. So my significant other decided to park his car in my empty spot in case she tried to park there while I'm at work. Last message he sent me, she has stormed upstairs and huffed and has slammed her door. Keep in mind, I said this in the other recording before my video became, the footage became unusable. One of my friends recently has been dealing with someone who says they need to act their age. When this video goes up, like edited and it goes up, I'm gonna send this clip to my friend and be like, you want to know someone who doesn't act their age? This person. This crazy lady. Anyway, update. I got home from work and she has parked her second car in the visitor spot, but she parked it so badly it's blocking the driveway in. Right now I'm parked on the street, but too tired to deal with her. Update. Sorry, I didn't update sooner. So I said this before. Her car was basically blocking the driveway, and I had to park on the street. Anyway, when I got from work the next day, it was still there. But when I came home, it had gone. I asked my significant other as he was at home. Apparently, a tow truck came and took it away. So yeah, her car got towed. Her car's gone. You okay there, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty much, her car got towed. Her car got taken away. I'm still not sure which neighbor called the tow truck, but I have a suspicion was one she was arguing with. So the brother said she has been quiet all day, only the odd footsteps. By the way, I don't know if even a neighbor called. It could have been someone on the outside who saw this. I don't know. Next part, entitled Neighbor Won't Let Anyone Else Use the Clotheslines, April 5th. Well, I'm back. As many as predicted, her entitlement grew. Her entitlement's growing. She's going to Super Saiyan with entitlement. Anyway, she did. So in case anyone missed the update, the last post. So we already know what happened. It's been raining all week, and as I don't have a dryer, I haven't been able to do any big items like sheets or towels, only clothes I can hang them up inside. I explained this to Jen. She heard me explain this as well. When I was younger, because my dad still kind of does this, my sister's done this recently. My dad, when we go on vacation, because this is back before I found out I was trans, he would hang our bathing suits on like the pole part of the shower or over the bathtub, and he would just let them dry. And well, it's smart and it's useful. The problem is that they would still be kind of wet and they'd be cold, like very cold. So it would make it really fucking annoying to wear them, but, that's all we had. We didn't have a second pair or third pair or fourth pair, so it's just like, we had them, and, we couldn't do jack shit. On Saturday, it was finally sunny, and I raced home from work, drive my significant other out of bed, so I could wash all my blankets and dry them in case it rained again. I managed to get through 5 loads of sheets, blankets, and towels, and hung all of them on the line outside. We all share it. There are technically 2 different lines for us to use, and we never had any issues before. I got my last load and went inside to chill. I went back out about an hour later to get my first load and found every single item hung out on the ground. Nothing had replaced it. All of it had been torn down, and my pegs and peg basket gone. Most of what I'd hung was still wet and was now covered in dirt. So just in case for people who don't know what happened, she hung her clothes outside. Miss Karen pulled them down, stole the pegs and the peg basket. And because everything's wet and there's dirt, it's now muddy. So now her stuff is muddy. And keep in mind, there's a second line. Lady could have put on the second line, but no, she just took all the stuff down, stole the pegs in the basket, and didn't even put clothes up. She just did that to be petty, when in reality, she's being a jackass. I got my significant brother, and he helped me bring everything inside before I went upstairs and knocked on the door. When she answered, I'd actually taken my washing off the line, and she smugly informed me that she had not given my permission to use her line, and the next time I should be polite and ask, and she might let me. Keep in mind, she can't do that. Look, I'm going to level with you guys. I work in retail and deal with nightmare customers. I know how to be calm around these kinds of people, and I try to be polite and about this whole thing with the letter and the car, but my bed is my safe space, and I want to be clean, and she fucked with that just to be petty. I'm gonna say this: my bed's my safe space too. Like, my whole room's my safe space, but my bed is mainly my safe space. Cause I'll admit it, I love my chair. I love my gaming chair. It's much better than the chair I used to have back then, because I couldn't record for like hours and hours on end without getting like back and butt problems. Like, I get terrible pain in my back and around my tailbone, but nowadays I don't have that as bad. It still hurts to stay in this thing for too long, especially if the chair's like up straight, like how it is now, but I'm doing that so I can try and read better. I'm gonna say this, the bed is a safe space, and when someone wrecks up your safe space, it fucking hurts. So she just did it to be a jackass. Let's just say it. She just did it to be a jackass. She's not being petty. She's just being a jackass. Anyway, I calmly told her that everyone can use the line, it's a part of the building and nobody has to ask for permission. She tried to talk over me, but I just held up my hand and told her I was part of the strata community, aka she's kind of the HOA of the building. I know the rules and I know who owns what, and she needs to pull her head out of her ass, grow up, and stop her behavior because it's not doing her any favors, as I told her to have a nice day before she slammed her door. So yeah, that is, that's not good. Next post, the 10th, it was on the 10th of April. Entire neighborhood throws a party. This one is gonna get really weird, so strap in. You strapped in, Jen?
I guess.
Here we go. I was really hoping my neighbor would settle down, but here we are through the story. Here we are. Though the story has a happy ending, I think. This just happened last night, and I'm still a bit tired, so I'm sorry if there's any spelling mistakes. I'm going to say it here. Everyone makes spelling mistakes. I have dyslexia. I make them all the time, but even people who don't have dyslexia make spelling mistakes. I mean, Milky has ADHD. She doesn't have dyslexia like I do, but she still makes spelling mistakes because it's normal. Living beings make mistakes all the time, and spelling mistakes is going to be one of them. Anyway, our neighbor had been quiet for a while, and my significant other and I thought that maybe she had finally realized she couldn't control the whole building. One of her cars was parked in her own spot, and the other was parked on the street behind my significant other's car. Nobody's washing had been ripped off the line, so no notes were stuck to doors until yesterday. As we are at the bottom unit, apartment, as other people will say, we have a side door that opens out to a shared yard. I think the only time I use the door is to air the place out or as a shortcut to hang the washing out. Sorry. Anyway, yesterday we were going about our day when we saw the entire neighbor and a few other people setting up tables and chairs in the yard. No big deal. It's just shared space. Minutes later, there's a knock on the door on the side door, and it's her. So we never opened the door. It's a glass sliding door, so she could see us. We couldn't pretend we weren't there, and did the usual greetings. She told us that we were having a party and we need to move our wooden planters off our patio because she needed to use the space for her barbecue. No. Also, by the way, there's something really important about the planters, and it's honestly so fucking funny. We will get to that in a minute. Anyway, firstly, the patio is our space, not a shared space. And secondly, they sit right next to the glass door. So I don't want some random looking into my living room all night. Why they are I think she meant to put down while they are cooking. Cinnamon reminded her she doesn't own the whole building, and we wouldn't be moving shit when one of her friends asked, what the fuck was she doing? They had already set up the barbecue in the yard. She had them walked off without saying anything. Us and we thought, without saying anything. Us and we thought it was it. It was not. Oh my god, my train of thought's breaking. My god. Oh, my vision. Okay. Sorry, my vision did something stupid there. Holy shit. I'm also gonna say this, because the way they explained it, I feel like when she, huffs and, walks away, I just see a mad Animal Crossing character walking away. I'm just gonna say that. All I imagine is a mad Animal Crossing character. A few hours go by, and we ended up closing the curtains for privacy. Whoever designed this building didn't keep privacy in mind for a detail but anyway, I'm gonna say this when I first read that, because like I explained before, this is a re-recording of lost footage. It reminded me of the character from the game Thank Goodness You're Here. Because, if you guys don't know, you can smack the characters and they will bring up lines of dialogue. And one of those characters is a character with binoculars, I don't know. And if you smack him, he said in a weird voice, I'm looking for teats. So when I read that, I was just like, oh my god. Like, it must have been, the person who built this building must have been that person. It's that character. But anyway, sorry for pissing you off about that again, Jen. Sorry. Anyway, we can hear talking, laughing, and cooking, which I don't know how you hear cooking. I guess they hear, like, the sizzling from the barbecue. But anyway, the usual sounds of a backyard party, and when there's another knock on the door. I was cooking dinner, so my significant other answered it and answered again. This time, it was one of her friends saying she had to use the bathroom. An entire neighbor told her just to knock on her door instead of walking upstairs. Yeah, you can't do that. This isn't like, you know, a gas station where you can just ask where the bathroom is and go use it. It's a house. It's somebody's living space. Anyway, so politely, significant other politely told her sorry, but she couldn't use ours. She apologized for knocking and intruding. Not even 2 minutes later, there's banging on the door, and by now, my significant other is pissed. By the way, I've dealt with sliding doors before. Like, my aunt, she owns an apartment in Florida. I know that's shocking that I still go to Florida despite the terrible shit going on there as a trans guy. But anyway, that thing has a sliding door, and I'm gonna say this: when it wins, the door like shakes. And knowing that, imagine banging, especially on like a glass door. If the glass is not strong, that shit can break. Ugh. Anyway, he opened the door, and a town neighbor started to lay into him about how dare he expected her guest to go all the way upstairs, and that he needs to apologize to her and keep the door open for her guests. Girl, like I said before, this is not this isn't a gas station. You can't do that. Now, my significant other is a real calm guy, very easy to talk to, and very rational. But in that moment, he loses his shit. And I will say this, as someone who's also a very calm and rational person, people have told me I'm scary when I get mad. When I lose my shit, they say I'm scary. Is that true? Am I scary when I lose my shit? Is it? Oh, your audio glitched.
Yeah.
That's true?
Sometimes.
Jesus, I'm shocked. Tell me in the comments if that's true. When I get pissed off, at games and shit, is that true? Do I seem different? Do I seem scary? Please tell me. 'Cause Jesus. Anyway, he told her to fuck off and stop bothering us, to get her head out of her ass, and she can't lay claim to everything she sees. I'm gonna say this: she's acting like a cat, marking her territory. I will say this: that actually happened to her house. A cat came over and peed on our house to mark our house as its territory. And even after my mom cleaned the wall, our cat still sniffs it. Because he's like, who the fuck peed on our house? Who the fuck said that this is his territory? Because it's not. Anyway, our bathroom wasn't hers to use, or the guests could use the bathroom, so our bathroom wasn't her to use. Her guests could use her bathroom, and if she knocked on her door again, he would call the police for harassment. At this point, one of her friends came over and told entire neighbor she needed to leave us alone and stop bugging us before apologizing and telling us to have a good night. We expected the party to be loud and go on all night, but it actually wrapped up pretty early, about 1 a.m. I think. That's still pretty late. 1 a.m.? That's still pretty late. My God. Anyway, this morning when I got up, everything had been cleaned up from the yard, but our planters had been knocked over. You ready, Jen? You ready to make why this part's funny to me? You ready to hear why this part's funny to me? Here we go, everybody. Get ready for this shit. Joke's on her, because we haven't planted anything in them. Haven't planted them yet, and most of the soil there is used as cat litter. I use potty mix as cat litter because it's cheaper, so now all she can smell is my cat's old turds. Honestly, smart and fucking hilarious. Because the thing is, I do know people have used, animal manure as compost. It's supposed to be good for plants. So, it's good for your plants. So anyway, we are now at post 5, May 1st of 2022. And this part, I'm going to say this part really concerned me because of what happened. It also just shows how much of a hypocrite she is. So here she go. She really wanted to pet my cats. Well, I'm back. I thought maybe my neighbor had settled down and I was done with her behavior. I do hear her fighting with the upstairs neighbor and now and then, but that's about it. This happened this afternoon and I'm still trying to figure out how her brain works. So the next part, I'm skipping this because just explaining, like, everything we already know. So, anyway, I am on the ground floor. I have a glass sliding door that opens out to the shared yard. Not happy about this, but we mainly treat it like a window anyway. Being that it was a nice, cool day, I had the door open, but the screen door was shut and locked, so I could air out the house after having rained and the house smelling musty. So just in case, my Windows has this too. Some Windows you need to like apply something, but a lot of Windows, including glass windows, have the main glass and then they have a mesh part. Their door has this mesh part, so to go inside you have to open up the glass door and open up the mesh door. She has the mesh door locked and closed, so no one can get in without unlocking it. But anyway, whenever the doors open, my cats will sit and watch all the birds outside. I was pretty tired, and my significant other suggested we both lay down and have a nap while I wait for the washing machine to finish the thought. Sure, why not? It's a quiet day, and we went and laid down. We were woken up about an hour later to the rattling noise in the lounge room, and I thought maybe one of our cats tried to climb the screen door again. So I got up to scold them and found my entire neighbor. And oh my god, went up to scold them. And guess what? This is where the hypocrisy comes from. Shit, I lost where we were. Fuck, damn it, hold on. I found it. I found them. I was trying to scold them. Oh yeah, here we go. And I found my interrogator trying to open the screen door. Get fucking ready. Really pulling on it to the point the whole door was shaking. Like she was trying to break into this house. I asked her what she was doing and she told me that she had seen my cats at the door while on her way to hang clothes out and want to pet them, but the door was stuck. By the way, if you didn't remember, in the beginning, this same lady told her that if they had pets, they would have to be evicted. Same lady, by the way. Anyway, I told her it wasn't stuck, that it was locked because it was a private residence and she can't just walk in and out whenever she pleased. She kept trying to open the door while yelling at me that I can't keep the cats away from people if they want to pet them, and it's her own right to show them, quote unquote, real love. By the way, for someone who owns a cat and takes them out for walks, I am particular on strangers who pet Lauren, and I think Lauren is too. There's been times where we have met complete strangers and she's hissed at them. Like, Lauren and I somehow have, like, a certain feeling against people. Like, if we meet you in person, we feel like something's fucked up about you. We know something's like, we have a sinking feeling, or we know, like, then we know something's fucked up about you, and Lauren does too. Like, he'll be cautious of people sometimes, but when he gets used to them, he'll be fine with them. But if he knows something's fucked with them, like he knows something's wrong with them, like they're dangerous, he'll hiss at them. And out of everybody he's met, he has only hissed at one person, and honestly, I'm glad he did. Anyway, I repeated that this was my home, and she couldn't walk in whenever she wanted. This really seemed to piss her off, and she started to yell at me that I was a little bitch and I was abusing my animals, and I speak to her like that. She, just in case she's mad, she told her that she can't pet her cats and that she can't walk in her house willy-nilly. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm overheating. I'm turning on my fan. I'm so sorry if you can hear my fan, but it must be cold. It has to be cold in here. Anyway, at this point, I was pretty sick of being yelled at in my own home, so I mustered up a sweetest smile I could for politely telling her to fuck off. She did a nice smile for there. Anyway, if looks could kill, my cats would be eating my dead body right now. She tried to open the door again when my stepbrother came out and said he would call the police if she didn't stop. She finally let go of the door, cleared us, and stormed off. Needless to say, we are ordering another camera for the door now, and yes, my cats are microchipped. Good thing too. I've met people who don't microchip their animals, But here's the thing, you should. You should microchip your animals. ETA. I thought I might add this, add this. There's been a few comments. My phone was charging in my bedroom, and I didn't take it out with me when I got up. Where I live, the police aren't very helpful unless it's happening, but I didn't want to turn my back on crazy. My significant other only got out of bed when he heard shouting because he thought I was talking to the cats. So anyway, so here you are. You ready, Jen? You ready to hear why the nephew was there?
Why?
Here we go. Post 6 out of... Oh, there's only 8. Okay, there's only 8. We're almost done. There's just a few left. Post 8 in June. It doesn't say exactly a date. It just says June. It's been too quiet. So if you're new to the story, here's a brief recap. Okay, so we already know about this. We already know about the recap because, we are reading this all here together. But anyway, it's been a quiet few days. Normally I hear her arguing with another neighbor all the time, but lately nothing. Last week I bought a new car. Yay! It's slightly bigger than the old car, so I'm not confident enough to park it in my spot, so I've been parking it on the street. The other day, I got home from work and saw a young man standing on her balcony. He was quite friendly, called out hello, and to me introduced himself as the nephew and explained why he was there. You ready, Jen? You ready to hear the karma?
I guess.
This is what happened. She broke her foot! Oh, your audio broke.
I said more.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, she broke her foot. I don't even know how you do that, but she broke her foot. Apparently, at the last family Oh my god. Apparently at the last family dinner, she tripped over a dog and broke her foot, and is now staying with family because she can't get up and down the stairs. By the way, I'm just gonna say this, I'm someone who always looks down and up. Like, I'll glance up and look down, and this is why. Because I don't want to trip over something. Like a small dog. Like, I don't want to, by the looks of what happened, or it sounds what happened, she tripped over a small dog, fell, and broke her foot. Anyway, he said he was out house sitting because she said she did not trust her own neighbors, but he admitted that we were all really nice and quiet, and maybe she's just crazy. Yep, she is. It took all my strength not to sing and dance right there. Okay, we're on the 7th post. This one, then the last one, and then we're done. June 15th. Entitled neighbor's back and wants me to isolate elsewhere. Well, she's back. Was hoping she just wouldn't come back after she broke her foot, but last week we heard a door slam from upstairs. We looked outside and yep, her car is there. No idea if it's her nephew who was home sitting or not still. So they don't know if her nephew is still there for house sitting. But anyway, a few days ago, I tested positive for the much wizard phantom, and I've been doing the right thing and stayed inside and dying quietly. I will say this, me and Jenny dealt with this virus. It fucking sucks. It feels like you're dying. Like, weren't you sick for 7 months with the virus?
What?
Like, weren't you sick 7 months with the virus, I can't say?
For 7 months?
I don't know. You were gone for a very long time.
It was 2 weeks.
It was not just 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was.
Younger Thee cried when you came back because you were gone for a month.
It was not a month. It was 2 weeks.
It was not 2 weeks. You were gone for so long.
It was 2 weeks.
You were gone for so long.
Wasn't
you were gone
that
for
sick
a
that
month.
I don't even remember?
You were gone for a month, and when you came back, I started crying because I thought I'd never see you again.
Was I that sick that I don't even remember how long I was sick?
Yes! For context for everybody, I met Jen when I was 12 and they were 13. We met on VR chat. I still have my same name, but it was lowercase, and their name at the time was Dark Mortal 1234.
Don't.
And we were best friends before we dated. We were best friends. She came back, and because I was on a laptop, I was lagging as fuck, but I noticed when she came back, I started crying my eyes out. I'm not even joking.
You think you're joking. No, I
started crying happy tears to see the one person I knew I could really trust come back because I thought I was all alone again. But no, you were just
It was
terribly
sweet,
sick.
but
You
it
were
was
really
so
sick.
sad too. And I don't mean like a mean way. I mean like I actually felt bad. I didn't
Yeah.
crying.
And it didn't help that I was lagging, which meant you could just hear, you just heard like cut out sobbing.
But still, was it really a month?
Yeah.
I was gone. It was.
Yeah,
I
because you
don't
were
want to say
really
gone.
sick. You're bedridden. Your whole house was sick. You even told me that when you came
Okay,
back
I think-
online. You even told me when you came back online you were still sick, but you were able to get up.
Yeah, I think for like 2 weeks, I wasn't. I was just stuck in bed the entire time. I
Yeah,
like
'cause
literally
your
every time
whole
I tried to
family
sit
was
up, I
sick.
fell
Your
over.
whole family was sick. It got in your whole house.
I got the worst of it though.
Yeah.
I got the worst of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they make sure to say that they are fully vaccinated, but that, which is good. Get your vaccines. Anyway, I'm fully vaccinated, so it's not that bad though. I could live without the headaches. Yes, the fucking headaches. I'm gonna say this. Oh God, I hit my elbow. I once had the virus. I was fucking dying. And I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't drink water. I didn't even want soda, and I fucking love having soda. And at the time, I didn't have Powerade, so all I drank was milk. To the point where I had to wake up my dad to get milk during the night, and he eventually left like a water bottle full of milk. So when I got thirsty, I could just go and get milk during the night.
Babe,
What?
I know we're recording a video, but
Don't you fucking dare.
it's funny and cute.
Why, do you wish it was your milk?
What? What? What about milk? Why are you talking about milk?
Because I was explaining that when I was younger, when I got sick, like when I got sick with the virus, all I drank was milk. I couldn't drink anything. Also, I got a message on Discord. I'll check that after this recording. But anyway,
Hey, just look what I sent you, though.
But yeah, people think that's inappropriate just in case it's a cow pun. Oh, that's what the notification was for? Because you sent me something?
Yeah,
Okay.
just look at it. It's short and it's funny and cute.
Okay, I'll check that out after the recording.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was my dad texting me. Like my online dad.
No.
Because I hope he's asleep right now. He needs rest. Scoochie on uppy. Anyway. My partner was away all day. Saturday became all day Saturday because he was picking up his new car, and he got home late Saturday afternoon, parking his new car on the back lawn so he could just give it a quick coast down from the drive. I was inside watching through the sliding door when I heard the balcony door open, and she started yelling at him to get off her lawn. Girl, the yard is shared. He told her to shove it. It's not her lawn, and he's done when he is done, and can she please stop yelling because I had the virus and it doesn't help the migraines. Well, that was a mistake. I heard her storming down the stairs, and she started banging on my door screaming that I'm diseased and then I need to isolate somewhere else before she gets sick, and if I don't leave she was going to call the police. I find that fucking hilarious that she was like, you must isolate somewhere else or I'll call the police. Like, what are the police gonna do? You're sick. You're allowed to isolate in your own home. I told her, though, through the main door, that she had been told repeatedly she can't kick us out from our own place, and that place that we own. I'm staying inside that she. I'm staying inside, and that she could call the police if she wanted, but she would more than likely be fined herself for wasting their time. That is true. Believe it or not, you can get fined or even arrested for wasting police time. So if you try and prank the police, you can get fined or arrested for it. So don't mess with police time. According to my significant other, who was coming in after moving his car, she looked downright murderous. But when she saw him, she took off up the stairs. Haven't heard anything from her since or anything from the police, so we think it was an empty threat. Of course it was an empty threat, because what are they going to do? You're sick, and you have the right to stay in your apartment, or in your unit, technically. I was tempted to open the door because, like they say, sharing is caring. So yeah, she was saying this through a closed door. She was saying this through the door. But it is true. Sharing is caring. You could have given her the virus. Given her a piece of her own damn mind. Anyway, ETA, just wanted to add because after a few comments on it, we can't get her evicted from her own home as she owns it like we own ours. Also, lawyers in Australia are very expensive just to talk to. When we bought our unit, the lawyers handling the sale charged us everything. They stopped us for paperwork by mislabeling my name, and they charged us to more reassure the papers with the correct name. As far as I know, my updated neighbor spoke to his lawyer about her, but they can't do much anyway. Ugh. Okay, last post. Okay, here we go. So there's this last post, and then a little thing at the bottom. Here we go. Entitled Karen's neighbor strikes again. October 6th. I'm back. Did you miss me? I won't lie. I was hoping I would never have to post again, and she would become a normal neighbor. I was wrong. So Jen, so there's a reason why I wanted to talk about the story, and this post is actually why, and you'll find out why. You ready? Jen?
Mm-hmm.
So this post is actually why I wanted to talk about it, okay? So get your ears ready. Get those ears working. So she was quiet for so long, and her car was barely there. I was starting to think maybe she had moved out, but I got a nice reminder last week that she's still around. So this story, I must give a brief background. There are 8 units total in this building. I am on the ground floor, and the very nice old lady across the hallway, and I have an unspoken rule that if one of us is home and the other isn't, we sign for the accepted packages so they don't so the germs are left there in the hallway. Plus also package thieves fucking suck. Porch pirates fucking suck. I had been expecting a package and I had been feeling it was going to show up while I was at work, but I wasn't worried because of the nice old neighbor. She would drop it off while I got home. No drama, right? Wrong. The nice old neighbor had actually gone away for his due days, so nobody around my package was left next to my front door, but it wasn't there when I got home. Oh yes, dear reader, she had it. Ugh. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
No, keep in mind, there is a part where people say accidentally. Keep in mind, this lady did break into the package, which is not only a invasion of privacy, but is illegal. You are not allowed to open other people's packages. That is illegal. So what she did is not only an invasion of privacy, but also illegal. But here we go. Here is the candle on the top of this shit show of a cake. About 10 minutes after I got home, I heard the familiar stomping on the stairs and bang on my door. Long story short, my packet had been delivered and she wanted to do the nice thing and hold on to it until I came home, but apparently it had accidentally ripped open and she saw what was inside. I won't lie, it was... You heard that, Jen?
Kinda, yeah.
She bought and apparently the package accidentally ripped itself open. I wonder how. And she said in brackets, I like to treat myself, sue me. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to treat yourself with some adult toys, go on ahead. It's not your, like, I will say this. I don't have the money for them because, like, adult toys here can cost, like, hundreds of dollars. Like, I saw one that was, like, $80 online. They're very expensive. You can treat yourself. Treat yourself.
I have 4.
Yes, you do. But, like I say this, even if you have a partner...
They're always broke there. You can tell you're...
Yeah, you were given them. But I'm gonna say this. Even if you have a partner, if your partner's okay with it, get yourself some toys and treat yourself. Go on ahead. Anyway, that moment I opened the door, she threw the package at me, yelling how I was a disgusting pervert and I should move the hell out before it spreads. What the fuck? What type of fucking martini is she taking? Give me some of that shit. What good martini is she having tonight? My God. I'm not gonna say this. I don't drink. I will never drink. But honestly, if she's drinking, what type of, like, Delulu martini is she having? Like, my God. I told her that opening someone else's mail is a crime. It's not a crime to buy those kind of things, but thanks for taking care of my package. Yes, that is true. It is not a crime to buy those, but opening other people's packages is a crime, and this is the last thing. OP last posted about her entire neighbor 2 months ago, but I still have to flare this, and this is an ongoing. Call it a gut instinct, but I don't believe this is the last we've seen of this crazy neighbor from down under. So let's see. So yeah, as you can see, this user has deleted their account. But that is now the end. I'm going to say this. I hope that this person who created these posts are doing okay. That, like, this crazy neighboring lady is gone and that she's gone for good. So, what do you think? What do you think of that?
It was interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me you like this, because I don't know why. I really want to read Bridezilla stories. I don't know why. Hearing titled Bridezillas, it's just so fucking funny to me. To, like, try and understand how their brain works. To, like, understand their mindset. It's so fucking fun for me to try and piece together how their brain works. It's like a puzzle. And it's so fucking fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.
Whee!